So today I thought we'd switch it up just a little bit and try taking on Te Awaroa with a single weapon, and a weapon that we pretty much never use anymore, the 12 gauge pump shotgun. It's a base game weapon, it's been there from the very beginning, but we pretty much never actually take it hunting with us, so because it does have the 3 different ammo types, it can ethically take each species on Te Awaroa, and I think it'll be fun to kind of switch it up and just sort of see what challenges it presents and what we can do about them. Now I will say that the plan was to actually try to get a feral pig first, because they stopped drinking at 6, but with the opportunity to take a European rabbit, I figured we should do that, and we did hit him. I was actually curious to see what they would do. Apparently they can't enter the burrow if they've been hit. I always did wonder, like, if you made a poor shot like that, if they could escape into the burrow and kind of disappear, but it's good to know they can't, so maybe some more shotgun hunting for the European rabbits. We may look for a slightly better feral pig, but good to know there's one down there. And that one we only hit with 2 pellets, but got the job done, and got our European rabbit out of the way anyway. So hopefully we can get a feral pig before they're done drinking. And then, because we got our rabbit, we should be able to move straight into chamois after that. And just in time, because feral pigs are pretty much ready to stop drinking. We found a level 4, so I think that'll be a good one to take. And I'm curious how the shotgun slugs are going to do. Usually the 30-06 rounds bring them down pretty quick, and I mean that actually did as well. There are also a ton over on this side, but just little ones and females, so we'll go and get our level 4. And I think probably those 2 species are going to be some of the easiest ones on this map. The thing that I really think is going to be most difficult is chamois, which we're going after next, and then feral ghosts, because we have to use the buckshot on them. The slugs are 1 class too high, and I think that's going to be where Rocky can come in and help us, so gold on our feral pig, but I really don't think the buckshot for either of those species is going to bring them down quickly, so hopefully Rocky's tracking ability can help us find them. I still don't really know if melanistic chamois are rare, but a 40 to 47 estimate level 3 female, I want to say like 44 is gold, so there's a decent chance it could be a gold, and it's in a fairly stockable place. I mean, we have some cover to get to it. There's actually a really big leucistic male there. I think we might go for that instead. That was 52 to 60. So technically there's a chance that it could make diamond. Level 4 diamond chamois are most certainly a thing. We're going to get Rocky to stay. I think the wind may be shifting that way. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do here, but that's definitely the one to go for instead of the melanistic. If we can get to 50 meters, I think I'd be confident enough that the buckshot can get into a lung. And we're pretty much there. The wind is shifting. I really don't want to end up alerting him. Let's see if we can do this. I don't have a clue how the buckshot really works at range, but we're going to hope that got a lung. I saw he was starting to go down, but also we have to remember, there are so many pellets in this buckshot. It could have been a bunch of flesh wounds that's getting him, but that is vital blood. Let's kind of stay out of the way here. Obviously there are a ton of chamois drinking at this one spot, but we'll set Rocky on the track, and we'll go and see what that is. I'm actually pretty pleased with that one. I'm actually surprised the buckshot took him down as quickly as it did. But I mean, those are good-looking horns. I think he's got a shot. Not the best place for a screenshot, so we'll probably just get one of the harvest screen. But a 56.3 leucistic, that's definitely our best one. That weight, I mean, he's right there. 58's diamond. He would have had a decent chance. Pretty cool looking. I think we'll still attack Extremize. And then it's 5 hits. I think 2 maybe got the lung, 1 in the intestines, and then like 2 down here in the legs. So it's not like we had a ton of room for error, but it worked out. And I'm really curious to see, because the feral goats I actually think are tougher even though they're not quite as big, at least as far as the weight goes. So I'm curious if we can get a lung, if they'll go down as quickly as the chamois did. Well, that is one of the more ridiculous things I've seen in a while. That's not the turkey we're here to get, so we might try to let that one go. I wanted to get into the tower, because there is a better one right out here. And I think now that we're in here, he might go back to calm and come in. And just in case, I put decoys out right back here, maybe to see if we can get him to strut. We'll see what he does, but I still hear that other one down there, so if he doesn't end up going away, we may try to get him too. Oddly enough, this guy is apparently still feeding. We'll try to get him to actually come in, but worst case scenario, he is in shotgun range. And apparently just a bit more coaxing with the call is enough to get him to come in. But he's not strutting. That's right at the minimum 0 range for birdshot, so I think we'll just go for that. That's going to take him down. And as far as I can tell, the other one is still under there. I have never seen that. Well, I guess we got 2 gobblers, but the one does have a chance of being a diamond, so we might as well go and see what we got for that. We'll get Rocky over here as well. And that actually got us pretty close to Feral Goat and Fallow Drink Time. In fact, some of the earlier Fallow zones would have started. But just a 4.4 for that Gobbler. We still have yet to kill a Diamond Gobbler off Te Awaroa, which I just think is insane, but we've never had a level 3 or a level 2 big enough. Well, that is one of the biggest Fallow deer I've seen in a while. 251 to 303. I don't know where we're going to hide. We better get Rocky to sit still. Luckily, we can use slugs on them. And I guess we must have just gotten here before his zone started. There was just a call over there. And then, looking at that, he looks so tall compared to some of the other level 5 Fallow we shot. But I want to try to get into this little tree right here. It might hide us, I'm not even sure. At the very least, it should offer some cover. It's not going to hide us completely, but it should help. He is walking right at us. I don't know, but that might be one of the better Fallow we'll end up getting. I want him to hopefully stop one more time. And of all things, dropping a level 5 Fallow with a 12 gauge slug was not one of the things that I thought we'd be doing today, but I guess I was just trying to get Rocky to heal, but might as well let him find that. And I'm curious, it's not like the widest set of antlers I've seen for Fallow, but it seems especially tall. 251 is diamond, so I think he's a guarantee. And he has a diamond at 264, so not our best. And actually, we didn't even heart shot him. I'm surprised that left lung shot instantly dropped him with a slug, but pretty cool to see. We might as well taxonomize that and see if there's somewhere we can put it in the trophy lodge. And we'll praise Rocky for finding that. Well, that went pretty well. Timing and all with the turkey got us into the perfect position for our fallow deer. I would say a month ago or so, we probably really would have been gunning for at least a level 4 Sika deer, but something has happened in, I think, the most recent update, to where it just seems like there's not as many in some of these better areas, and they may just be in other spots, but for now, a level 3 with a good estimate will work. And it's about 200 meters, and I'm really not sure where to aim with 12 gauge slugs, but I'm guessing pretty high. So when he lifts his head, that looked really close to being in the lungs, and I think it will be. We did see, though, that a single lung shot on a fallow dropped it, so it's not a guarantee that we didn't just shoot him like right in the leg and the 12 gauge slugs were just kind of overpowered, because Sika deer are pretty little. But if that was a lung shot, I'm going to be pretty happy with that at 200 meters. And it must have been. It would have been really, really close. But also, there is a herd of red deer up there with a couple of pretty decent looking ones. That's actually somehow a max estimate 7. So we might try and go to get that. I wanted to go for feral goat, and that's kind of the reason that we quickly took a level 3 Sika deer. Because like I said, he's pretty decent size. I think he's got a chance of being a gold. And he is at 140. And actually that was right center in the lung, because it kind of looked like it hit like in this area really close to the bottom, but that was pretty decent from the 12 gauge. Let's praise Rocky. And we'll see here, it's not too far after 10 o'clock, so feral goats will have just started drinking. We can, of course, call red deer in, so it shouldn't take that long. I mean, with a max weight estimate 1 there, I think we should go and try to get him. And I think the goal will be just to get him to about 100 meters. Since we don't have any cover, we're just kind of chilling on the bridge. He's going to end up going alert if he gets way closer than that, so he's already kind of past that, actually pretty much standing right at it. So let's try that. Definitely not a hard shot. Hopefully it's going to get into a lung, though. I'm really not sure what to expect from 12 gauge slugs, but I think he probably should have been dropping by then. So hopefully that follow-up did something. He's still not going down at all. I felt like that would have been pretty good, but maybe we were lacking a little bit of penetration going for a frontal angle. I felt like it would have been doable, but we'll take a look at what happened. I mean, he didn't make it that far, unless he tried to come back, but he's facing away from where we came from, so I'm not sure. That was actually not too badly placed, just a little further back might have got a lung, but the first one, it mostly was an issue of lack of penetration, because I'm not certain. I think we're just far enough to the right that we would have gotten the lung if it reached, but it's pretty close to being kind of in between the lungs and above the heart. So good to know. If we find another red deer, we'll probably won't go for a frontal angle again. But before feral goats are done drinking, I do want to go and try to get that taken care of. And I think that's actually, since we got a red deer now, the last species on this map that we haven't taken. But probably because of the way that level 7 red deer went, I'd like to get another one. But let's go and try to get the feral goat out of the way. So it kind of figures we actually have a really good sized level 4 feral goat out here. 191 to 220, but much like with the chamois earlier, we're limited on range because we're using buckshot, and the wind is really not the best for a spot and stock kind of deal, so we'll have to see what we can do. I do actually like that he's walking up out of there. That's going to help us a little bit, but we'll see if we can get in range, and the chamois and the turkey earlier both were like a possibility of being diamond below max level, and neither of them made it. Our feral goat definitely has a shot as well, so maybe he'll be the one to actually make it below the max. I think we might have gotten a little bit too close, but fortunately he hasn't run off yet. If he ends up turning back broadside, I think we can definitely go for that. He's actually even still drinking, but once he lifts his head, I think we'll get that shot in there before he decides to end up fleeing. But I can't believe we got this close, and I forgot the feral goats actually do that. They're one of the only species that just kind of roams around as they're drinking, and I didn't consider that being a major issue, but you can see where the marker is. That's the last place I saw him, and I was stalking up to that area, and he just wasn't there, so luckily, he happened to be quite close by, and we did see that he was going down pretty quick, so we'll get Rocky on the trail and hopefully go and recover him. And actually, he didn't go anywhere. I mean, the vital blood is right there, so he must have gotten hit pretty well. I've been impressed, actually. Both the chamois and the feral goat went down really, really quickly. But let's see. He doesn't look particularly huge, but when he was 20 meters away, he looked pretty good size. 202, I mean, not too bad. I'm surprised at that weight he's a 4. He's almost 49 kg, but still a good 6 below diamond. And actually, lung and liver there. Explains why he went down as quickly as he did. Let's praise Rocky once again. And unless I'm forgetting, I think we do now have one of each species with the 12-gauge shotgun in Te Awaroa. But as I mentioned, I wanted to do better on a red deer because I think other than maybe the rabbit, I want to say we've had a gold of everything as well. It looks like we got ourselves into the perfect spot here. We have a level 7 red stag coming back, actually better than the one that we shot earlier, and we're just perfectly hidden right now. The only worry I have is that currently he's facing us, and he might end up spooking because we have Rocky with us. I'm not sure how close he'll get. Rocky is just laying down and staying right now, and it looks like we might be okay. It's actually kind of cool to just watch them walk by, but when he gets broadside, we're definitely going to go for that with the slug. It's pretty cool to see. I mean, he's right there. That's zoomed all the way out with the scope. I think he shouldn't notice us. I don't know where we hit him, but that worked a little better than the last one. That's really, really cool. I think just because he landed like that, let's get Rocky over here for a quick screenshot. And of course it's got to be raining right now, but he's not huge or anything, so we're not going to sit here and wait for the rain to stop. But that is vital blood. There's no way that we just hit spinal cord. It was actually double lung that instant dropped him. I have been pleasantly surprised by how powerful those 12-gauge slugs are. I mean, it dropped the fallow deer with a single lung. The Sika deer was, 200 meters away. Single lung brought it down pretty quick. And then double lung dropped a red deer. Like, I don't know that the M1 at that range double lung would have dropped it. The 303 may have. I haven't really tried that close, but there's a lot more power in those slugs than I would have guessed, and that's good to see. That might actually be more of a reason to carry that in the future, but that is every animal on Te Awaroa taken with the 12-gauge, and we did get ourselves a diamond fallow plus the leucistic chamois, so we'll head back to the trophy lodge and try to find a place for them. So for just about a year now, we had 3 different rare whitetail up on this wall. So we still have the piebald and albino up there, but there was also another piebald pretty much the same size as the albino. I kind of like the fallow deer in the middle though. It kind of just adds a little bit something to that wall. And you really see the size of the fallow deer versus the whitetail because they're the same body size. They both max at 100 kg. But the fallow deer just looks so much bigger. And actually, I'm pretty happy with the addition of the chamois as well. We're going to go all the way to the other side of the lodge. But we had so many diamond axis deer from when they were released and the diamonds were super common. And slowly but surely we've started to get rid of some of those. This is a melanistic from, I think, the day that we got our first diamond chamois. And it's a good size rare female. But then leucistic opposite that at 56.3. I like what that does for that wall. There's already the albino water buffalo up there. and then an older diamond fallow and a diamond reindeer. I just think it's cool and it adds a little more variety to this room instead of having 2 more diamond axes here, because we have one right there in the entranceway. But anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool hunt. I was impressed by the 12 gauge throughout, and it was cool to kind of switch it up a little bit and sort of see what that does. And I really do think, at the very least, that got us the leucistic chamois. I'm not sure if it got us the fallow deer specifically because we were hunting with a shotgun, but having to be patient is the reason that we ended up finding that leucistic to begin with. And I like that kind of thing with hunts like this. It's always interesting what sort of surprises they have. But anyway, I think that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.